What's up, y'all? Dale, newarbarber.com, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, I'm joined by one of the customers in the program of Elevated Mentorship, Michael DeJesus. What's up, dude?
What's up, bro?
Just chilling. So we were kind of just talking just now, and I think for you, um, well, first of all, you're in Houston, Texas, correct?
Yes,
But
I'm in
you're
Houston, Texas.
but you're originally from like what, New York or something like that?
Yeah, from upstate New York, Rochester, man. I moved down here to Houston about 3 years ago.
Nice. So I guess for anybody who's not familiar with you, I mean, just kind of go through a background of like your story of becoming a barber and kind of like building, I guess, your business up to the point of when we first met.
Okay. So, I first got into barbering around like 18 years old after I joined the U.S. Marine Corps. I went to boot camp, did all my schooling. That was about a 6 to 9 month process. Then I came back home, and I was always in the barbershop, even prior to going to the service. And sitting there with the barbers, and they're like, "So, Mike, what are you gonna do now?" I was a reservist, so you do the 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks in the summer, and he was pretty much like, "So, what you gonna do?" And I'm like, "College ain't for me, man. I'm like done with school. I hated school, just because like it was too much for me to deal with." But so they mentioned a barber school that just opened up like very recently, and I had the opportunity to be like the second class. And I was like, I love being a part of something like when it's just starting. So that way I could look back in the future like, yeah, I was a part of it when it first jumped off. It's cool, man. So at the time, for some reason, I didn't qualify for any assistance. I guess whatever the case be, I couldn't qualify for the loans or whatever. So, I wanted to join, but I didn't really have the funds. And my mother at the time, I had to shout her out, man, because without her, I wouldn't be here, to be honest. Right? She was making $1,600 a month, man. And with one paycheck, she would pay the bills. And with the other paycheck, the other 800 would pay for my school. And that happened for like 4 or 5 months. So like from that day on, like I had a drive to like, I can't let my mom down. Like, no way. You know what I mean? She sacrificed that much. I'm going to make it happen. So from there, I finished barber school. And then like, I don't mean to be too long-winded, but like I got into my first barbershop, man, and it was a Spanish shop. Mind you, I'm Puerto Rican, but I
Yeah.
speak no Spanish, right? So being in an all Spanish shop was the worst idea, man. So people coming in, they're like, "Can I get a fade?" And I'm giving them a fade, and they really wanted a taper. So they would go to the other barber and have them fix it. And they were getting pissed at me because they were having to fix a haircut, and I was the one getting the money.
Mm.
So I ended up getting fired from there, right?
No shit.
And for me, yeah, I got fired from my first barbershop, man, within like two months or so. All right.
Jesus.
So for me, it was like a Michael Jordan moment. Like I got benched in high school, and I'm about to show out, right? So I ended up my friend hooked me up with this black barbershop. It was an all black barbershop. I'm the only Puerto Rican, right?
Mm.
And it starts going good. We do like a back to school event. They're like, "All right, come on, man." Mind you, I'm the only one using the razor in the shop. So I started building up my clientele. It's going good. I started getting more confident. I started taking more education, started taking it more serious. And then from there, man, I fell in love with barbering more and more. And then I kind of I went into being a school teacher, a barber instructor at one point. I did that for about 2 or 3 years. That was kind of fun. But every single time I would step away from behind the chair, I would find my way back to the chair. So I knew like this is what I wanted to do, ultimately. And from there, that was 2 or 3 years. I left, and my buddy he moved to Houston back in like 2016, and he was telling me like, "Yo, Mike, man, you out here in Rochester making $20 a haircut. Houston, I'm paying $50, $60." And I'm like, "Damn, bro, so why don't you pay me that when you come?"
Yeah.
Right? Like, how you gonna give them 60 and give me 20? Like, come on, bro. How does that work?
Yeah.
So he finally convinced me, right? I went down there for like a week vacation for his birthday in March. And by June, I relocated to Houston. And to be honest, man, I wasn't even for barbering at first. He was doing real estate and, wholesaling and all of this. So I wanted to jump into that wave, right? Trying to make more money quicker
Yeah.
because I was still in the mindset of like, all I could get is $20, $25 a haircut. I got to bust my ass. Like, this shit ain't worth it, So I tried that for like 6 months. I depleted all my savings that I had saved up, as cushion. And then my wife was like, babe, something got to give. Either we going back to Rochester or you're going to go into the shop. And I was like, I refuse to go back home. You know what I mean? So I went into the shop, man, and it was the best thing I ever did, honestly. Like the owner, Jay Diaz, he embraced me at Empire, started giving me clientele. And from there, I just started building, man. And but I was still trapped in this cycle of just like cutting, 60 hours a week. I was cutting 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. just so I could avoid the traffic of Houston. I'm cutting, 15, 20 people a day, only charging at tops $30, right? But I'm like, I want to get to that 50. I just don't know how, and I don't want to like not make any money. I don't know if people are going to pay the 50. I had no way to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just stuck in that old cycle of barbering. And then eventually, man, fast forward, I come across you and an ad, man. And I was just like, man, this looks like a great opportunity. I would love to make more money and cut less hair, because the shit would start like 12 years in already. Like now, like I'm starting to feel the aches and the pains. And like, I'm like, I don't like these long nights, constantly, having to squeeze people in afterwards and barely getting paid anything. It sucked, man. But this was a great opportunity. I was like, man, it doesn't hurt to try it. And look at we here now, man. It's great.
You,
Loving
you missed a detail you told me prior, which is you ghosted me at first.
it. Right, man.
I didn't even know it. So like, Mike DeJesus was like telling me before, like, oh yeah, like you had DM'd me like a year prior, and I just never replied. And I was like, thanks, dog.
That
So
sounded real harsh.
yeah,
No,
well,
it's
it,
crazy you bring that up because the reason why I ghosted you, and be honest, was like that was a pandemic time, right?
sure,
The beginning of it. So we are all panicking, like, what are we gonna do? I can't cut at the shop. So I get into day trading. I start learning about stocks. So that was my major distraction at the time. I'm like, all
yeah,
right, if I can't cut hair making money, cutting hair, I'm gonna go ahead and trade these stocks. So
sure,
like I completely blocked out everything because I'm like I'm more tunnel person. Like if I like one thing, I'm just gonna stick to that.
yeah,
That's it. Forget
absolutely.
everything else.
I think a good point to bring up because like I didn't know you even were you did the barber instructor thing and then also real estate because like when I met you, I saw on your profile it was like more again day trading, all the stocks things. I remember us even on
Yeah,
the call
right.
where I was like, hey dude, do you mind like maybe like putting this to the side just to, like make sure we can build the business up? Um, why I guess why like back even when you were the instructor or the real estate, why were you trying to go away from barbering at first?
Because of the long hours, the constant stress of like people constantly hitting me up, and I'm one of those type of people. At least I was that couldn't say no to people. So I had a whole bunch of friends. The whole city knew me, and they just, yo, can I squeeze in? Can I be the last one? This and that, and it was causing a lot of problems at home with my wife.
Mm,
You know, so I was just like, man, this shit is stressful. And then it's like I'm putting in all these hours and work, and the money's not matching. So it's like making, at best $1,000 a week. It sounds good money to some people, but like as you start to get kids and you want a house and you want this, it's like that's not really doing much. I got enough just to pay the bills. I'm not living. So I was like, this is not fun. So I'm like constantly trying to add other sources of income instead of just trying to master the one. And like that's when the light bulb finally clicked. When you was like, I started watching, the videos, and you're like, listen, you got to focus on one thing, lock in. I was like, man, this makes sense.
yeah,
It does.
yeah, because you were at I know you were at some weird pricing. I remember even like when I would look at your application, like who the hell charges? It was like 57 or 59 bucks. Like wasn't that your hair like price of a haircut? I'm like, who the hell prices their haircut at 59 or 57 bucks? Um, and I remember at first I was like, whoa, okay, like I mean, skill set was there. I was like, yo, this is gonna be like he's gonna be able to grasp on. Obviously, you do day trading, so you're ambitious, but it didn't work out that way at first. I think like you even said like first what was it 2 or 3 months like you were kind of caught in this cycle. I guess what was kind of going on for you there?
So while I was like watching the videos, learning how to, you know, everything from the program, it kind of like was overwhelming at first. And I was like, bro, damn, I got to switch everything up. And like it started to stress me out because I try to be a perfectionist, or at least I think I am. So I try to like all right, I need my lighting to be right. I need this, I need that, da da da. And the shop I was currently working at, I kind of ran into a couple of problems with the owner there, not allowing me to use the ring lights. You know, still a great guy. You know what I mean? But besides that, I felt like because I couldn't have the proper lighting, I couldn't even try to make a video. You know, I was using all of these excuses to just not start. And then I finally came to a realization. I was like, Mike, like, regardless of however, you know, the lighting situation this is, like, just record a damn video. How can you improve if you don't even record?
Yeah.
So I was glad I finally got over that, you know, like, from what really helped, honestly, though, was like the Q&A calls and listening to fellow members, like, struggling with the same things. And then, like, hearing some of their excuses. And then, like, you know, my boy Daniel, he's quick to be like, listen, stop fucking making excuses. Get this shit done. And, like, I would have you in the back of my head, like, Mike, I would never try to come to you with an excuse because I'm like, he's just going to be like, that's bullshit.
I'll call you straight out, dude. Like, straight up, I'll be like,
I love it.
yeah, I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, I'm like, you really believe that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember,
Real,
I would see you on every Q&A call, but because I always see people, like, there's different people in the program, those who are, like, on the Q&A call asking a bunch of questions, and they get the results. And then there's those who's on every Q&A call, don't ask questions, but I always see them getting results as well, too. And I'm like, ooh, something's going on that side. I know I mean, of course we talk, like, in terms of, like, feedback here and there once you got on. But I guess for you, like, when you were listening, what did you take away the most? Was it just like that, again, like, stop the excuses bullshit, or was it, like, even just learning from other people? What actually helped you out, like, listening to those?
Both, like, hearing the no excuses, you not accepting any of the excuses, and then also hearing all of the advice and tips that you were giving them on their videos, you know. So, like, even though sometimes I wasn't asking questions and whatnot or speaking to you directly, I'm taking notes, mental notes on everything you say to every person. And then, like, whether you noticed it in the videos, like, let's say there was a certain, like you pause the screen on a certain video and be like, yo, this would be a fire cover. I would, like, screenshot that in my head and be like, all right, next video, we're going to try that because Daniel said that looked good. You know what I mean? So I'm like, and then you would give a compliment to this person. I'd be like, okay, incorporate that. Take out this. Don't do that. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
And just slowly started doing it.
Did you, I mean, like, because I think that just, like, all comes down to pattern recognition. Did you have, like, where did you build that skill set up? Did you find it, like, when you were doing real estate, or did you find it when, I mean, I think I would assume, like, day trading, like, there's a lot of patterns in there that you have to, like, look at as well, too, correct?
Yes, sir. I think that did help a lot, honestly. Paying attention to detail was a big thing in the military. And then, of course, over your barber career, you know, the small details really count. And then I was always studying the barber game, honestly. Like, I came into the barber game in 08, 09 when IG, like, really started to boom. And I was the type of person, man, like, when, like, say Webster or A-Rod would post a video, I would watch that 15-second clip 1,000 times in a row. And I was just like, you know, if they get in their phase like this and they're putting a line right here, I'm putting my line right there. And then it's just like seeing where the results were and, like, just do the same thing. You know what I mean? And then improve off of that.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
I guess for you, because I know, again, you're very, like, I want to say, like, you can improve self with, like, not too much maintenance on my part, right? Like, we'll talk here and there, of course, in the DMs or even on Q&A calls. But I know, like, DeJesus, like, anytime I see something that you do, I'm like, okay, he saw that, like, he's good. I guess for you, what helped you out the most in the program? I know you talked about maybe a little bit of mindset, maybe a little bit of, like, video marketing creation. Obviously, we have tracking, everything. What, I guess, for you really clicked?
Week 2 is a big, huge week, man. Like, letting yourself know, like, who you are. You know what I mean? That helps a lot because, like, how you say at one point, like, the person you are today ain't gonna get you to where you want to be. So I had to start thinking differently and creating a new character mentally, and, like, just checking myself constantly, man. Like, nah, that's some bullshit. But it was everything, man. Like, the whole program is phenomenal, honestly, and just the feedback and how you stay on top of it, and the Q&A calls are crucial, man. I love them. And how much support I get from my fellow brothers in there, honestly. Like, I had a couple of different accountability partners, and they would keep it real, man. Just like we all learn from you, so we all don't tolerate any bullshit from each other. Like, nah, don't even think that way. Do this, you know what I mean? And then of course, I'm a competitive person, man. I played baseball my whole life. You know what I mean? So I do want to be the best. I'm seeing everybody doing good in the program. I'm like, bro, I could do better than that.
Absolutely.
Like, so that's how I feel. Like, I want to be the best,
Yeah.
man. And that's the driving force right there.
I don't even think we like even mentioned like because right now you entered the program at like 57, $59. It took us what like how long did it take us? Because I know you're at 80 right now, correct?
Yeah, 80 for the base cut, 100 for the haircut and beard.
Got it. So
And
how long did it take us to get to that point?
right now, once I started posting, 3 months. Because
Okay.
I think I've been in the program for about 6.
Okay.
But once I started posting, it took about 3 months. And then we already working on the next one. So
Yeah, we're working on 100 to get to at least base cut by what? Right now it's August, maybe.
November.
I mean, I think October, honestly, too, would be like in play. Just like
Yes, sir.
it just goes off like again to what we were talking about NCA tracking. Um,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I think for you, what I guess like what was the feeling like in that first 3 months then? Because again, too, I don't want to like that is like a very crucial. You get into the program, you're not really doing too much. I mean, are you in your head a lot? Are you just like really doubting yourself? Are you doubting like what you could do in your area? What's kind of going on for you mentally?
Okay. In my head, overthinking about trying to have everything perfect, the lighting, the camera in the right spot, all the equipment I need, and then really stressing out myself about the customers, because I'm like a big part of what I feel made me a success in the barber industry is my customer service. Like even before I had the skills, I would make sure you walked away feeling that I gave you my absolute best. And that always stuck with people. Like they would literally come back to my chair and be like, it wasn't the best cut, but like, man, you tried. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to stick with you until you get better.
Mm.
So like, I didn't like making people late. I think I've even like we've DM'd about this a couple of times, man. Like
Yeah.
I hate being late for people, and I hate when they're late for me. So like it's a big thing, man. And part of the program that helped me dive deep to like why is that, man, is because like issues that I had with my dad growing up. You know what I mean? Like him kind of like telling me I'm gonna pick you up and then like never come through.
Ooh.
So like that stuck with me a lot, man. So like I try to be on time for everything, and I try to hold everybody else to that standard as well. So what held me back was like because recording is new at first. So it's like if I take an hour on the haircut, recording might take me an hour and 15, an hour and 30, and like I hated that. So like I wouldn't do it. Like I'll try maybe one video a day, and I'd be like, all right, that's it. I fell behind. Nope, not falling behind for nobody else.
Mm.
But I didn't realize that like. I think you told me once, like Mike, make that sacrifice now. Communicate with them clearly, so that way you could build this business up, and it'll be better in the future. And then it started to make sense. Like he is right. Just communicating with them. I adjusted my time slot to give me a little more time. And then now that I'm doing it more and more, I know exactly where to position the camera, how to get it, what I'm looking for. And at the end of the day, if it's not perfect, I get to post it or show you or somebody in the group, and we improve on it. Right?
Sure.
So it's just like, it's kind of like I finally adapted the mindset of like, just do, adjust, do again.
Sure. I guess again another point that I don't think we touched on. I know when you were at again like the $57 price point. I mean, you were doing that in day trading. I guess why did you never look to scale beyond prior to joining the program? Right. I mean, you obviously skill set was always there. I've always told you. I mean, like your beard game is fucking incredible. Like I would definitely fly down to Houston to get to you. Was it more of like, and I don't know the answer to the question, but it could be like maybe the area that you're in terms of Houston, maybe you didn't think it was possible in the city, barbershop, or just even self. Maybe you didn't think that you could scale up a business as a barber that way. What was that for you?
Okay, so a little part of the story I left out was I was working at Empire for the first maybe year or two of cutting hair in Houston, and there came a point where this guy H3 was offering these classes to learn how to do facials, how to do the advanced hydrotherapy, these other things. And I was stuck in that mindset of thinking that's the only way I'm going to be able to make more money behind the chair. Like I'm maxing out at 57. I don't think nobody's really going to comfortably give me more. I was scared to lose the business because like I'm getting accustomed to this lifestyle, and I'm like, listen, I can't afford to have people fall off and I can't make no more money. So I transferred over to his shop to learn that whole system. And that's how I was making a little more money, but it was really distracting me from the main thing. you know.
What were you
And
doing
I
and
learned.
offering, like service wise?
So so I would do the haircut and the facial. So it'd be like a 30-minute facial for like $80, or the hydrotherapy. So I would get a bald head, and instead of charging him 57, the bald head with the steam and all the hot towels and the oils, I would charge like 85, and all of that stuff. But like it wasn't really what I like to do. I like to cut. You know what I mean? Like the facials, I'm like I enjoyed learning that skill set, but it's like it's not even something I really want to do. You know, but I thought at that time that that was the only way I could scale, and I was just honestly just scared of going up. You know, and I thought the only way you could scale was like wait until you're booked out for a month straight, then go up $5, and then do it again. Booked out for a month straight, go up $5, and it just felt like forever.
Yeah. Well, because like then you're stuck in a position where like, fuck, you have to like overcompensate for the business. I don't even know if it's a healthy business at that point. Like most booked out people that like that just don't have a healthy business. But then you either play that game or you play the game of just fuck, I don't know, start like melting gold on your client's face or some shit, right? Like you got to come up with some like really weird
For real.
things to like to come up with a better price service. When it's just like, dude, like your skill set's phenomenal. Like as long as you can acquire clients at a higher price point, like you're good. And I think you're seeing that now too, because right, it's just, I mean, for those who don't know, it's just a haircut and a haircut with beard. Like what you don't do anything else in those services, correct?
I don't know. So at the time when I was charging 57, man, I was doing a shampoo for every service. I was doing a hot towel for every single beard, and even sometimes a hot towel for the edge up. So it was I was doing too much. And once I took all that out and seeing that people were still willing to come to me, you know, for the $80, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Then you know you got on me for the next price raise, and I tell everybody this story, man, because we were on a Q&A call. We're going over the numbers, and I'm like, yeah, I'm averaging this, I'm averaging that for new clients. And he's like, bro, what the fuck? You should have been went up.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Right? So he's like, all right, tomorrow we're making the announcement, right? So the whole day goes through. And I'm like, yo, when am I going to do this? I don't know how to do it. I'm scared. I'm in my head, right? 10 p.m. at night, day of DMs, you're like, I haven't seen anything. So in that very moment, man, I'm telling you, like, this is why it sticks with me. Like, I had 30 seconds. I was like, one, I'm not gonna not respond to you, right? Because you know some people they'll run from it, be like, "Oh, I didn't see the message." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, he clearly seen that I seen the DM, so I'm like, "All right, man, what the fuck? What excuse you gonna say, or are you just gonna do it?" So I was like, either you're gonna be a scared little girl, or you gonna actually do it, man. Grow some balls and like do it. I was like, you know what? I made the post. I was like, boom. I was like, there you go, Daniel, did it. And then to my surprise, man, like everybody supported me, man. Like it's crazy. Like not, I didn't even drop one person, man. It's unbelievable. It's like dudes giving me 100, tipping me $60. You know what I mean? $50 tip, like paying in advance. And then mind you, I switched over since I joined the program to getting paid in advance, which was probably the best thing I ever did because it eliminates all the BSers, man. And then I got people that like are booking for the first time, never seen them, never cut them, booking, paying 100 and tipping $20 on top. It's like, yo, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know this was possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Dude, I mean, it's all kudos to like your skill set, your work ethic. Like, you know, we can't. I mean, if you're just cutting people's ears off and just leaving them chop jobs, ain't nobody gonna pay that shit. But like, like it's I mean, it's a testament to like your skill set. And for those who don't follow you, at least it's Mad Cuts, correct? MADD_CUTS.
Hey, right there.
There we go.
Tatted, baby.
Yep, De Jesus. That's the boy. I guess to kind of wrap up, I mean, because dude, you kind of like answered like literally every question. If I ask anything else, we're just gonna run around in circles. But I guess for you, like, what is one? Because I always like asking this question. What's one piece of advice you would give to somebody, maybe another barber who was in your similar position before you joined? Meaning, like, you know, you're adding a bunch of services on. Maybe they're also day trading or forex or whatever else. They're doing multiple things, trying to create more income. What piece of advice would you have for them?
Piece of advice, man, would be to clear your mind of all the BS. If you really love barbering, go all in, man, because that was the best decision I ever made. Got rid of everything, clear your mind, stop making excuses, ask for help. You know what I mean? Especially when it's there. You know, and I think I even said this to you the other day. Like, I still have the problem of trying to do everything on my own. When there's somebody that like can help me. Like if I have a question, either you or one of the guys in the group, they can answer. And it's just like, bro, just ask. Like, the only stupid question is when you don't ask. You know what I mean? And how can you get better if you don't ask somebody? You know, because going off of your own eyes or perspective, you're not really going to improve like that. You know what I mean? Because you got your own bias. Like, yeah, I think this looks great, and it's like, nah, the market is saying this looks like crap. You know, so man, get out your own head. And then the biggest thing is just take action. That is the biggest takeaway, man. Like, don't wait. Like how I waited 3 months, probably I could have already been at 100, to be honest. Like if I would have just took action off the back, I probably would have been even further. But you know, we're here now, man. I love it. Just get out your own head and just get after it, bro. You know, it feels good when the wins start coming, bro.
Absolutely, yeah. Because look, I mean, 100 by November, probably 150 March, April, and then we can look to go to 200 probably next October-ish. So that is if you want to get to 200.
For real, man. Definitely. Sky's the limit, man. Let's go.
Brother. Hell yeah. Well, Jesus, appreciate you coming on, and look forward to continue helping you.
No doubt, bro. Thank you.